Okay, so now that I've got some individuals identified, I can walk you through some of the other features associated with all that. And so primarily that's all on the individuals page. So this page is basically shows you a library of all your known individuals across all your data sets, which you can see here. So this is how you can access them and look at them. And what you can do then is also obviously filter the individuals you can currently see. So in this case, I can say Colusi 2017 demo, and now I can see all the leopards that I've just gone ahead and identified. You can also filter by a bunch of other options like specific sites, by species, date ranges, stuff like that. But essentially, the idea is you can just simply click on an individual, in this case, individual number 11, their name is number 11, and now you can actually page through all the images associated with that individual, which is really nice. And you can see then obviously what site the image was taken, what date it was taken, stuff like that. And then you can see other information about your individual, like when it was first seen, when it was last seen, stuff like that. You can see the informational tags you've given it. You can edit those. You can add some notes, change the name, stuff like that. You can also filter the images that you're currently looking at by sites and by date range and stuff like that in their order. So if you just wanted to check stuff. And then also you're able to then completely delete or dissolve an individual. So if they're completely wrong, you can just dissolve them completely. All their individuals images get created as moved as separate individuals, and that individual is no longer. You can also then just remove a single image, whatever your current image is, remove it from the current individual if you find a mistake, a single image mistake. So, and then with submit changes is basically sort of across all the changes you made. Once you're done, click submit, and that'll be saved. Then you can also see some other stuff. So, for instance, we can see now all the different sites in the survey where this individual has been seen. And again, we can also filter this information by date and stuff like that if we wanted to get sort of time-based information. And then, yeah, you can also see what individuals it's been seen associating with. So a better example would be our single image where we've got two leopards. So this individual here, it's got two images associated with it. And now we can actually see the collared individual over there because they've been seen together. So we know that they've been seen associating. So you can see the number of images that they're associated by, the number of clusters they're associated by, and their name. And you can also click on them and go and take a look at them as well. So this is now a collared individual in that cluster. So yeah, that's all the main stuff there. And then basically the two other features we've got is first and foremost is there's this big red delete individuals button. And what this does is it allows you to delete all individuals for a data set for a particular species. So basically, if you realize what you've done needs to just be cleaned and restarted, what someone else has done needs to be cleaned and restarted, you can click delete individuals and you can select your options here. So basically, you select which surveys are applicable, what annotation sets, and then what species. So we can say, for instance, Colusi leopard, but you can also have multiple surveys here and stuff like that, multiple species and what have you. You then simply click delete, it will then confirm, are you sure? And then in this case, I'm not going to go ahead and do that. So that's quite useful. And then the last feature is the ability to perform individual identification across multiple surveys. So what we've done up until now is to identify individuals within a particular data set, within a survey. And then obviously sometimes when you're sort of doing long-term monitoring of a single area, you want to do individual identification across all those libraries and individuals. So where you do that is at the survey level, you do individual ID, so that has to be complete for each survey. But then you can come to the individuals page and click the launch ID button. So here you can now select again what species you want to work with, what surveys you want to work with. So in this case, I've only got one survey with leopards identified in it, so I can't select another one. But you can obviously then, if you've got multiple surveys with leopards identified, you can then select that other survey there, and as many surveys as you want. And so basically then you can find individuals across all of them. It is worth noting that if you've combined, let's say, your 3 surveys, and you've combined 1 and 2, and now you want to do two against 3, you just need to launch 1, 2, and 3 together, and you'll be told if you've forgotten a survey, because essentially those individuals already contain images from survey 1 in that case, and we want to use that for matching purposes and stuff like that. So that's why they all just get grouped together. And yeah, essentially then, as before, you can select the batch size. I would leave that as default. And then you can select what stage. In this case, there is actually only one stage, and that's the second stage. So you've actually already got sets of individuals now. So you go straight into that second stage of where you've got an individual and just get suggested matches. And you either accept those suggestions and build the individuals, combine the individuals, reject or skip. Exact same concept, exact same with quantiles, everything else is the same. What you will notice here is that the algorithm option is still there, and that's because now we haven't calculated any similarity between the 2 surveys individuals, so you do have the option there to say what type of algorithm you'd like to use for calculating the similarity between these 2 sets of individuals. So again, what you just need to keep in mind is that when you launch this, we need to do that processing, and that can take some time, especially with very large data sets, because of the combinatorial growth involved, and especially with multi-survey individual sets, it can be a lot of images. So you just need to keep that in mind. So it'll take a while to launch, and then you just perform the exact same steps that we did in the previous video. And that's it. So that's all you need to know about working with individuals.